guys, don't mind me. I'm a hot mess express today, but I'm going to be making some applesauce because Adele requested some just the other day. So I'm going to make some applesauce in my Ninja cooking system. It is amazing. I'm going to use it as like a crock pot today. Grant and I have to go get some wood. He's actually out there right now. Can you see him? See him out there doing the wood? But he actually has to go and get some more. So I need to get these apples in the crock pot, and I'm going to let them cook down for about 4 hours. I love these bowls. They are Pioneer Woman stacking bowls with these lids. Super sturdy. The lids stay on. So I use them for pasta salads or whatever, for like cookouts and everything. They're just a great bowl to have. So I'm going to use my potato peeler. Yes, I know there's an easier way to do this. I don't have one of those spiral, apple peelers. That will be on my yard sale find list for this spring and summer. Yeah. So anyway, I'm making some applesauce in the crock pot. I'm going to add about a cup of water to the crock pot. Probably half a cup of sugar or so, and some cinnamon in there. And by the time Grant and I get done with getting this wood, it will be ready for me to blend up into applesauce. This is where I'll use my KitchenAid immersion blender. Every kitchen, I didn't know what I was missing until I got one, but it's great. It breaks down tomatoes when I make sauce. I don't even peel my tomatoes now when I make like marinara sauce out of tomatoes. A lot of people will boil the skin off of the tomato. Not me. It's all going in there because that immersion blender blends up the tomato, the skin, so well. Even the seeds, so well. Yeah, great for when making tomato soup, and just gets it done. It's very efficient. Yep. So it is Monday, and not much going on here. It's very cold. We're supposed to get some snow tomorrow. I don't see it happening though. It's gone from 3 to 5 inches to they're calling for like 1.5 inches at most now. So I was really looking forward to a school day. No school day, sorry. Inclement weather day. Inclement weather day. That's not going to happen, I don't think. So for those of you that don't know, I've had a licensed daycare now for almost 13 years. And I've worked at home, obviously, all 13 years. 2 years ago, I switched my daycare to before and after care only. My kids just were getting older and sort of just tired of having children in the house all day. Even when my kids weren't here, they were in school, but children were still here. Children were still using their stuff, whatnot. So 2 years ago, I switched my program to before and after school. And last year, my youngest was going to a preschool for 2.5 hours, 3 days a week. That's it. And that worked out great for us. But this year, she's in school full time. That means after I get my daycare kids on the bus, I'm free all day long from 8:30 to 3:30. However, I didn't like last year, like being home and just, especially during the wintertime. I felt lazy, and I don't like feeling lazy. There's not much to do around the house or the gardens or anything in the wintertime. Like once I'm done feeding animals, there's really not much for me to do other than cook dinner, homemaking stuff. And I love doing it, but I also I found myself sitting on the couch a lot, and I don't like that feeling. So I was like, you know what? Let me get a job at the school. So I work at one of the local schools for 5 hours a day. And I was surprised. I was very anxious because I've worked at home for so long. You know, I've been home for 13 years. How am I going to feel, you know, working outside of the home? But I actually loved it. You know, work adult interaction. But I'm still around children. They're just older children. But the closer I get to spring, I'm like, why did I sign up for this? What am I doing working? You know, I mean, we have to work. We have to provide for our family. One income anymore doesn't really cut it. But it's doable. But, you know, everything, inflation and everything. But I tell you, I miss being home. By the time I get ready for work, well, I get up, get ready for work, get the daycare children on the bus, and I go straight to work until I get home around 2 o'clock, and then I eat my lunch, and then I feel like it's almost 3 o'clock, and I have, once 3 o'clock rolls around, you know, once I eat my lunch, switch my laundry, change out of my work clothes, it's 3 o'clock, and then the daycare kids come by 3:45, so that leaves me like 45 minutes, and I'm just thinking, oh no, 45 minutes. That's not going to give me time to plant a garden, you know, come spring. You know, once the warmer weather starts and I'm out there, I am out there wheelbarrowing, mulch, just anything. Doing seeds out there, planting the garden, tending to the seedlings, running to all these fun little Amish stores with my mom and my aunts, my grandmother, wherever we're going. And I'm already missing it already, and it's only mid-January. But is what it is. Is what it is. Who knows what I'll be doing next year, though. If I'll be in the same school I'm at. I don't know. I don't even know if I'll have a job there because the whole budget thing going on within the school systems. But we'll see. We'll make do. Putting it all in God's hands. I'm going to pray my way through it. And if I'm meant to be at home, I will find myself here back at home. I just find comfort in being at home. It's my happy place, my safe place. When I'm home more, you know, I'm doing more. I feel like I'm providing just as much by being at home. Might not be money-wise, but I mean, serving my family brings me joy. So being at home, I do more things to serve them. All right, I have 2 more apples after this one. And I'm sure y'all are going to tell me, please do. A faster way. I mean, I guess I could just use a knife. But when I use a knife, a paring knife, to peel apples, I feel like I'm wasting. I'm not a good peeler with a knife. I feel like I'm getting so much. But if you can see, by using this peeler, I mean, I am just getting the skin off. So there's no apple waste there. 2 more to go. And then I'm going to have to slice the apples. I'm going to slice the apples, throw them in there, throw some sugar on there, a cup of water. And a cup of water doesn't seem like a lot for this much apples, but when the apples break down, they're going to produce more liquid anyway. And then, like I said, I'll use my immersion blender. And we like our applesauce chunky. You know, not real thin, not like pureed applesauce. And depending how much this yields me, I'm probably just going to stick them in some jars and in the fridge. I'm not even going to waste my time canning them because they'll be gone before I would need to can them to preserve them. The kids will eat it. And it's great having applesauce on hand for those busy dinner nights when you need a vegetable but you don't have time to cook a vegetable, or you just don't want to cook a vegetable. Whip out the applesauce. You know, it might not be a vegetable, it's a fruit, but it's good for you. Not saying the sugar is, though. All right, apples are peeled. These will go right to my animals. These peels will go right to the animals. Grab a cutting board. knife. Do I want a knife? Or do I want my apple? If you don't have one of these, you should probably get one. Nice uniform cuts. See, perfect every time. I won't say every time. There's sometimes you hit a core in there and it cuts all wonky. Sure is a time saver though. To be honest, I don't even know how many apples I had to start. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This looks like I want to have 12 here. So I might add maybe more like 2 cups of water in there. All right, there we go. Filled, apples filled, record time. Let me grab some water. This is about 2 cups. Just gonna add it to my applesauce. Grab my sugar. You could definitely use brown sugar. I'm just gonna use white sugar. I always just put my thumbs around the jar. I'm like, all right, that looks to be about a cup. That definitely wasn't a cup. And this is just going to be like a taste as you go type of thing. If I feel like once it's done, I feel like it needs more sugar, I'll just throw some more sugar in there. And then some cinnamon. We use a lot of cinnamon, so I just use this bad boy. All the children and myself and Grant, we like a lot of cinnamon. You can add nutmeg also in here if you want nutmeg. Grab a spoon. Just throw this all around. You can guys see. All right, that's all nice and blended. Let's turn. Let me show you guys here. All right, so this Ninja cooker has the stove top if you want to like fry up some onions or whatever and cook in there, or the slow cooker. I'm going to turn this on high. Oh wait, 4 hours. That's exactly what I want. There we go. It's all set. And as you can see, there's our apples. And like I said, I put 2 cups of water in there, but the apples will break down and supply us with, I think, all the liquid that we're going to need. But I'll know once they cook down. We'll see. And if I need to add more liquid, we'll add more liquid. Same with the cinnamon and sugar. So there you have it. That took us, what, almost 15 minutes. But we're going to supply us with some applesauce for dinner and for Adele, because that's what she requested, was applesauce. All right, so once 4 hours is over with, we'll come back and we'll check to see how our apples are. They should be soft and broken down good enough, and then we'll use the immersion blender to break them down, and they're simple as that. All right, see ya. Look how beautiful. The snow just falling down. Hey guys, here's your applesauce. Pretty well broken down. It's only been 3 hours. That's so good. Here's my KitchenAid immersion blender that I was telling you guys about. It is so nice. Works wonders. But all I'm gonna do is just smash her down here. And if you don't have an immersion blender, 1, you could dump all this into a regular blender, or 2, just take like a potato masher. I've done that before. Quick, easy, very chunky applesauce. Or like a whisk and just whisk it and chop it up. Let's see, I'm trying not to make a mess. This is very hot. Let me turn this off. But like I said, we like it chunky, so I'm not going to over blend this. This is how I do like tomatoes, as I was telling you guys. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. Now you might be able to hear me better. As I was saying, this is how I also do my tomatoes, just like this, but in a big roaster. And I'll let my tomatoes cook down all day, peppers. And I even put zucchini or squash in my sauce, my tomato sauce. Just adds another level of flavor. And it's a good way to use up an abundance of zucchini and squash. Rule of thumb, if you've never used one of these before, these little openings right there, you got to keep them under the liquid. If you pull them above the liquid, you're going to get a splattered mess. And it will burn if it's hot. We're just going around finding any other whole apples. But I think we're about good. Yeah, it's perfect. Like I said, we like it chunky. Unplug them both. Show you guys just what I'm talking about here. Perfect consistency. Look at it. Perfect. We have some chunks still in there, as you can see. Now, before I add this to my jars, I'm going to let it cool down. I don't want my jar to crack. That's something with canning also. Sometimes when you can, you'll lift a jar up, the whole bottom would be falling out. Or while it's canning with the lid still on, the pressure is building, you'll hear a crack, a pop within your canner. That is because when you take hot liquid, put it into a cold jar, it will crack. It will crack the jar. So you should always, when you're canning, I always just put my jars in the canner without the lid on and let the water heat up my jars. Some people throw their jars into the dishwasher and let the heat cycle heat up their jars. It just happens sometimes, especially if you use cheap jars. I always try to stick with Ball or Mason, but there are some other brands of jars that I've been successful with that the jars haven't broken on me. Same with lids and seals. But anyway, whole nother video. Here's our applesauce. I want to taste it, but it's probably going to burn my tongue. I did taste, it had a sneak peek a few minutes ago of just one of the apples. It tasted like it needed some more sugar. So also before this cools, I'll add the sugar. That way the sugar dissolves within the applesauce. You know what? It could use more sugar if you wanted, if you like sweet applesauce. But I'm not going to. Just the less sugar, the better. Sugar feeds a lot of bad things within your body. So I'm not going to add more sugar. But there you have it. Some applesauce. Feels so warm. My house smells so heavenly. And it goes hand in hand with this weather we're having. Just the cinnamon smell and the snow. So, all right, guys. Thanks for watching our applesauce. I'm going to let it cool, add it to jars. And that's how we did applesauce on this cold, snowy day. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you will. Don't mind. Share it if you can, if you're able. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks. Have a great day and do what you love.